with Flynn from Super 7. Can you come on up here, Brian? For all the Star Wars fans here, we're going to run down the creation of the Star Wars Jumbo Machinder. I'll let Brian take away the talking.
So a few of you might know who we are over here. Most of you guys don't. So I thought I'd start off the slide with this galaxy far, far away, and I was like, that's going to be really corny. So instead, this is the truth. On the other side of Comic-Con, in a booth far, far away, this is the Jumbo Stormtrooper. I don't know how many of you guys grew up with Shogun Warriors or worked in Japan with Jumbo Machinders. But so this is a new toy we've been working on, and CollectionDX has been very helpful and instrumental in us in helping us getting the toy made. So, anyways, who are you guys? Most of these people, you know who the Marvel licensor is. I'm nervous. But you know who the Lucasfilm licensors are. And we're this little tiny company way up the side. So I want to give you a little back history on Super 7. So the short version is we started in 2001 as like a really nerdy fanboy magazine all about Japanese toys and Japanese monsters. Over the years we published a lot of issues. We stopped at issue 16, which was coincidentally a Star Wars issue. And then we started moving into books. Along the way, you know, lots of Japanese toys. We started making our own toys. This is a toy called Manga Lion, made by Omar Spring. Our zombies, squirms. And then we were really stupid and we opened up a store. And then not long after we opened up our second store. And then this is the opening. And here's our security. 501st once again. Coming in there, and then we actually put them to work. You know, everybody kept in line, so checking people out. This guy's hawking t-shirts. Had a great job, another guy serving cookies, but it was fun. But at the store, we made the store we wanted to have as toy collectors. So the back wall of the store, we made custom wallpaper that we flocked. That was memorial wallpaper to all the dead guys in Star Wars. We focused on the Empire because they looked badass. So we have this wallpaper thing for the store. So how did we get there from here? This is how we started. 1977. I think most of you know what happened there.
Yeah.
This was me after watching the movie. And this is what I lived. I've lived and breathed this stuff. And in 1978, this happened. Shogun Warriors. And this was me once again. So, a little bit about the Jumbo Machinders. Most people, when they think of Jumbos, they know of the American Shogun Warriors. But it was actually a much bigger toy line that was made in Japan. A few examples. They made over 65 Jumbos over the years. Villains. And it's a huge toy that was made in Japan. It was a series of toys made over 15 years. Even made over in Europe and Italy. Machine blasters. And so it's this massive toy line that just never seemed to enter the Star Wars universe. Back in 2001, Indy 5 was the first people to make another Machinder, and they made the Garada K7, which was a prototype on the boxes, but no one had ever seen it. Made two versions of it, and then a young man named Frank Supio, who now works at CollectionDX, recolored the green one and brought it over to the States so that all of us could have a Jumbo. So, in 2007, you got us meeting with Lucasfilm about our license, our wallpaper. Frank has made an American Jumbo Machinder. Now he works for CollectionDX. We mix all those things together, and we get the first prototype of the Jumbo Machinder. This was the Celebration Japan last year. Awesome. Yeah! Now this was the very first rendition of the sculpt. And no one has made a Machinder in 15 years, so no one really knows how to make these things. So, this is it a week afterwards here in San Diego last year. And this is it in the office. starting to look at everything, figure out how we're going to get this thing made. So the first sculpt, front and back. So the first things we had to do were go in and a lot of these things to tighten up, like how the legs work and actually function, how the shoulders work, getting them back on model, putting them in place, fixing the head, getting it in the scale with the body. So here's the first round of the sculpt. Here's the second round of the sculpt. You can see the differences that we made with it, especially at the waist, the shoulders, and the head. Now, we didn't make this photo. This was rather lovingly and both not lovingly, but made by the guys over at ToyBoxDX. We're right over here. At which point it ensued a virtual nerd fist fight over which was better. Like, oh no, it's got to be square. No, it's got to look like the character. Which is more fun. It's really fun reading those threads. So then at the factory, this is how we actually get these toys made. Breaking this thing apart into a million pieces, really trying to figure out how to manufacture these things properly. Looking at the original toys, spending a lot of time with how the missile firing mechanism works for the fists, how we're going to translate that to our fists. This being the ultimate goal. Now, most people know this is the goal, and this is not the goal, but as the original Jumbos. These are really simple characters, but that's mostly owing to Go-To-Guy's design style. So we actually had to go back into other blow molded toys. This is a rare gun compounded cycle from the 70s. And start going into the detail that was used in making these to actually prove that we could make the Stormtrooper in blow mold. So we had to go back to the factory with these vintage examples to show them that they could actually do what we need them to do. So then, a week ago, we got this package. And then we unpacked it. This is sort of an example of how, like, even all the parts that we have to make just to make the legs and the torsos. And these have to mold off at different angles, so it can't be a consistent part. Revisions into the torso and the knees. And the final example. So that's where we're at now. It should be ready by Christmas, and this is basically sort of like our nerdy fanboys from when we were kids. We wanted Star Wars Jumbo Machinders, and we're finally able to meet them. And it's because of Frank and Kotobukiya that we're able to do this. So, big thanks to Frank. And if anybody has one of these that they don't want, I'm looking for one.
Nice try.
That's that was probably really fast because I was really nervous. So,
good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Alex.
Price point.
Price point.
Yeah,
Price point.
Price point. So
For everybody here,
we're still waiting on the final pricing from the factory at this point. It's going to be between $300 and $350.
And how many units are you going to be making?
Well, we haven't finalized the number. It's not going to be very many, but it'll be more than we're comfortable with.
Okay.
Because we just don't know if people are going to react the right way. But they'll be available at Blister in Japan, Forbidden Planet in the UK, our stores and online States. Plus we're going to have a couple shops that we set up with that have them in New York and LA. So we'll have some available for everybody. And then for all the fans that have pre-emailed us, they'll get a pre-crack at it so that they don't have to fight out with everybody else.
Awesome. Thank you.
any other questions? All right, you want to do a trivia question?
Sounds good.